Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are looking at skill drawing. Some special things to take note of. Skill drawing is actually a special type of drawing where particularly, we are looking at distance on the map versus the real actual distance. Okay, and do take note how I color coded the n. So the scale is usually represented in the form 1:n, where 1 represents the distance on the map and the n represents the actual distance. Okay? So it can be represented in either ratio or fraction form, and the key thing is that it has no units. Okay, so that is important. The scale factor is also known as the scale. And how do I then calculate this scale or scale factor? Well, we do need to make sure that whatever is it on the map or on the drawing, we divide by the actual length of the object. Okay? With that, let's move on to some examples. Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to this part of the video where we are given that a tennis court measures 24 meter by 11 meter. So if you are someone who is not very good at visualizing it, the best way to do this would then be just to draw a sketch. So I will have 24 meter by 11 meter actual ground. Then it is represented by a rectangle of 22 cm wide, meaning the 11 meter on the plan itself, it is 22 cm. So this is something we don't know. Okay. So notice how Mr. Tan draw the visualization of this plan. I park the length on the plan with the actual length. So how then do we find the scale? So the scale is simply the actual length is the denominator, the length on the plan is the numerator, but very importantly, the units must be the same. Wonderful, my audience. So it will be 22 cm. My 11 meter, I will convert it to cm. So I times 100, that will give me 1100 cm, and that's what I'm going to divide by. And please press your calculator and you would get 1/50. Now, a scale, remember, we can express it in terms of fraction. We can also express it in terms of ratio. So the other possible answer would then be 1:50. Okay? Either one will do. And now that we know the scale, we would then be able to find the length of the rectangle on the plan. Because I know the scale is 50. The actual length is 50 times larger than the length on the plan, meaning I'm going to just divide by 24 meter is 2400 cm, going to divide by 50, and that will give me 48 cm. And we are done with this question. Let's move on to the next question. everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are given that the floor plan of a bathroom. This question gives us the scale 1:40. That means the actual bathroom is 40 times larger than the plan itself. They also give me the dimensions of the plan. 6 cm by 5 cm. We are now going to find the dimensions of the actual bathroom in meter. Notice, just now we saw that the scale is 1:40. This means the actual length or actual dimensions are 40 times larger. So the dimensions is pretty straightforward, isn't it? I just need to multiply by 40. This will give me 240 cm. Convert it to meter, 2.4 meter. Same goes for the width. Which will be equals to 5 cm multiplied by 40, 200 cm, 2 meter. And part B is pretty straightforward. Therefore, the area, which we learned previously, area is length times breadth, 2.4 meter times 2 meter, because they want meter square. And we are done. And let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are given that a model of a boat. The scale is given. Very good. But it's not given in the form 1:n. That's why part A, our very first task is to write in this form 1:n. So the model is to actual 1.5 is to 22.5. We are now going to try and find what is 1. I'm going to divide by 1.5 on both sides. This will give me 15. And that will be the answer for part A. 1:15. And to make sense of this 1:15, the actual boat is actually 15 times larger than the model. So if they give me the actual length of the boat is 6.5 meter, what is the length of the model? We just need to divide by 15. But before we divide by 15, do take note that they want the model, the answer to be in centimeter. That's why when you see Mr. Tan's working, I don't write 6.5 meter. I write 6.5 times 100 because I am doing the conversion to meter to cm. Then I divide by 15. So this will give me a value of 43 1/3. But because we are doing the length in the real world, we usually don't write fractions for length, and therefore the final answer, please, this is important, we leave our answer to 3 significant figures for length. Okay? And for part C, now they ask us to find the actual width of the boat in meters. When they give us the width. And so for this particular question, I will have to times or divide by 15. Very good. I'm going to multiply by 15, and that will give me a value of 57 cm, but they want the final answer to be in meters, so I'm going to divide by 100, 0.57 meter, and that is the end for this particular question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are required to draw a plan of this living room that is rectangular, PQRS, where the length and the width is given, and we are also given the scale. So even before we do anything, we do need to know the length and the width for the plan itself. And I know that given this scale, 1:150, this means that the actual living room is 150 times larger. Yeah? So the very first thing that you will see Mr. Tan doing would then be 9 meter. I will convert all the meter into cm. And then, for part A, I will first find the length, which will be 900 divided by 150 to give me the length for the plan, 6 cm, and the width for the plan, this will be 5 cm. And therefore, I would then be able to draw it neatly here. To draw the plan using a compass, do take note, this is what we are going to do. I must first make sure I got enough length for the width, 5 cm, so somewhere here will be good. I am going to draw a line and label P first. And from here, do take note how Mr. Tan going to draw. I'm going to measure 6 cm. Then with the pointed tip at the point P there, I'm going to cut. So the length here would be 6 cm. Which is 9 meter. Okay? Do remember to write down the scale somewhere. I'm going to write down here the scale is equal to 1:150. So people know that 9 meter represents 6 cm. Q and R, because this is going to be a rectangle, means that the angle is 90 degrees. So I would then draw a line that is 90 degrees to the line PQ. And I know that it is 5 cm on the scale. I'm going to again measure 5 cm and with the pointed tip at point Q, I would then be able to get the 5 cm, but I don't write 5 cm. I will have to write the actual length. And I continue. for the other two parts. So for point P again, because this is a rectangle, means that it is a 90 degree. Right angle here. I am going to this is 90 degree. Again, just make sure that it is 5 cm. Then, with the pointed tip at point P, that's where I'm going to draw. And this will be my P, Q, R, S. And just join the intersection point here. Points P, R, and S. And that will be for part A diagram. Done. Part B. Now I'm going to use my ruler to measure MR where is my M? P runs to the midpoint of PQ, M. So I am going to measure 6 cm, right? Midpoint will be in the middle. So I'm going to measure 3 cm. And I'm going to, and that will be my point M. To the corner R, so to help me, I'm going to just draw the line M, R, and I'm going to measure so if you cannot see, I'm going to zoom in, okay, so that it's easier for you to see. So it is 5.5 5.5 5 6 7 5.8 cm. Correct to the nearest 0.1 cm. So my MR on the plan, they want the answer to be in 0.1 cm. So point B, part B, my MR is equal to 5.8 cm on the plan. And then, this is supposed to be the cable, yeah? We can then find the length of the cable to the nearest meter, and the scale is 1:150. So meaning that for my 5.8 cm, my part C I'm going to do here. The length of the cable would then be equals to 5.8 cm times 150. That will give me a value of 870 cm. But they want meter. 8.7 meter. Correct to the nearest meter. Okay. So nearest meter, since this is 7 more than 5 and above, the nearest meter will be 9 meter. Nearest meter. By the way, 5.8 cm is the nearest 0.1 cm already. Okay? With that, we are done with this question. Alright? Hello everyone, for this part of the video, we are going to explore problems that involves map scale And for such question, they always like to give us in ratio form, where the distance on the map is on the left side and the actual distance will be on the right side. So these are some steps that you take note of. When it's given in this form, the unit is actually cm. So we must check whether the actual distance in the question, is it meter or is it kilometer, so that we can change accordingly. If it is meter, we divide by 100. If it is kilometer, we divide by 100,000. Then we can form some equation and solve for the unknown. Okay, let me illustrate this with some examples. So for this example, we are given the scale. Okay, the scale is 1:50,000. This means that 1 cm is to 50,000 cm. And they give us the distance on the map. And find the actual distance in kilometer. This means that if you look at my working here, where I start off with the scale, I will start by writing the units. For working wise, you can write the units down, okay? And notice what happened. I am going to divide by 100,000 so that I convert it to what the question requires me to, which is to kilometer. This will give me 0.5 kilometer. And now, since I know it's 43.6 cm on the map, this means that I am going to multiply by 43.6. And that will give me the final answer, 21.8 kilometer. And that is the answer for part A. Part B. Now they give me that a road is 800 meter long. What is the road? What is the length on the map? So for this question, notice Mr. Tan will also start off with the scale. The difference now though is that since I know the question they give me in meter, I am going to change from cm to meter. This will give me 500 meter. And in order to find 800 meter, this is what Mr. Tan will do. I can find what is 1 meter first. I divide by 500 on both sides. Then 800 meter, I just need to multiply by 800. And that will give me 1.6 cm. And we are done for this question. Alright, let's move on to the last question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are given the map scale 5 cm to 1 kilometer. And we are required to write it in the form 1:n. So for this part, we start off with 5 cm is to 1 kilometer. Do take note, when they want us to write in this form, both must be in cm. So my 5 cm is already in cm. Very good. But my kilometer, I do need to change it to cm. Means that I will have to times 100,000. Will give me 100,000 cm. Then to get 1 cm, I will then need to divide by 5. So what you all learned previously in secondary 1 on ratio is very important. Okay, it comes in useful here now. Don't write the answer like this, because the final answer for this form, we must always write it such that there is no units. Okay. Alright, now for part B and part C, which I'm going to do in green. Do take note, the focus now is on cm square, meaning it is actually involving area. Okay, so the moment it involves area, we will need the scale for area. Okay, this is of great importance. So before even we start to calculate anything, I am going to determine the scale for area using previously what we have for 5 cm to 1 kilometer. Do take note also that I also saw that they give in kilometer square. Okay, so the units are good already. So I will still again start with the scale that they give in terms of 5 cm is to 1 kilometer. Cm, kilometer square. Okay, so now the easier way out would be, now I will need to find what is 1 cm. And in order to do that, do take note, I am going to divide by 5. Yep, this is what we have learned previously for ratio. So 1 divided by 5, that will be 0.2 kilometer. And now is the time for us to square both sides, meaning that I will have 1 cm times 1 cm, 0.2 kilometer times 0.2 kilometer. Okay, we are going to square both sides, because then I will be able to get what is the scale for area. Now I have 1 cm square, and this will be 0.04 km square. Alright, and with that, I will then be able to very easily find out what it will be my 20 cm square, because all I have to do is just to multiply by 20 on both sides, and I will get the answer as 0.8 kilometer square, and that will be my answer for part B. Part C. Okay, part C, we would have the actual area given as 8 kilometer square. So now I'm going to just create some space. For part C though, I'm going to write it here, and this is how I will actually do this particular question, because I saw that it's given in kilometer, and this is what Mr. Tan will do. Okay, Mr. Tan will actually have 1 kilometer times 1 kilometer, so that I will be able to get what is 1 kilometer square. This will help me later on. But if I square the actual area, I also need to square this side here. And this one will give me 25 cm square, represents 1 kilometer square. And going back to the question, right? So as I scroll back, I need to know what area on the map when it is 8 kilometers square. So if I have 8 kilometers square, all I have to do, I just need to multiply by 8, and that will give me 200 cm square on the map. So as you can see, for map skill, we are actually relying heavily on our knowledge of ratio. Okay, so that is a very important topic for this topic. With that, we have come to the end of this video. As always, thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.